Today we're going to be talking used gear, specifically gear that you buy online and gear that you buy on Facebook Marketplace. If you are a musician and you love buying used gear, you're in the market for some used gear, stay tuned for this video because I'm going to go over 5 tips on what to look out for when buying used gear. All right, tip number 1. Check the condition that the gear is in. Whether the seller says this gear is in excellent condition, mint, good, great, poor. See what the seller says about the gear. A lot of times people say things are in excellent condition, and then when you go look at the pictures, you'll see dents, you'll see scratches. Check out all of the pictures and ask the seller what type of condition do they rate it in. And then when you see the pictures, you can make a judgment for yourself to decide, all right, is the seller telling the truth? Is he exaggerating a little bit, or is he spot on? Is he being honest? I like to also look at the pictures in detail. When I'm looking at the pictures, I'm looking for scratches, I'm looking for dents, I'm looking for imperfections. Though I know it's used gear, a lot of times when you see scratches and dents on different gear that you are buying, it tells how well maintained it has been. So tip number 1, check the condition of the gear you are buying. Number 2, this is what you're going to want to do after you get the gear. After you get the gear, you're going to want to inspect it completely. You're going to want to make sure that nothing got damaged during shipping. Sometimes when you get used gear, of course, it's getting shipped from various parts of the United States and or the world. If it's not packed correctly, it can get damaged in shipping. So analyze it when you actually have it physically. I did this a couple of weeks ago when I picked up a new Roland Integra 7. A new review is coming on that as well. But I checked the outside of it. I made sure nothing got damaged during shipping and everything turned out good. Inspect the outside. Can't stress that enough. Make sure everything looks like it did in the original post. Tip number 3, more inspecting. You're gonna check all the ports. Check the XLR ports on the back, check the 1/4-inch ports. Make sure everything works. This is used gear. Sometimes people sell broken things. So just overanalyze and double check everything. I promise you, you cannot be too sure. And when I say ports, I mean the headphone jack. I mean the outs on the back. All of the outs, make sure everything is working. The last thing you want to do is get a piece of gear and find out later, 6 months down the road, that you thought you was buying something used and everything worked, and actually the seller got over on you, or the seller didn't know that something didn't work. You're gonna want to check these ports, inspect it, make sure everything is good. Number 4, double check the functionality. So when I say functionality, I'm talking buttons. Make sure the screen is good. Make sure all the buttons work. Make sure there's no stuck buttons. Make sure there's no stuck keys. Double check everything. I can't stress it enough. So we got check the condition online first. Number 2, after you get it, you're gonna want to inspect it. Number 3, you got check all the ports. Number 4, you got check the functionality of everything. Make sure everything works. Number 5, this is my favorite step. When you get used gear, clean it up. Make it look new. Wipe it down with some alcohol. Wipe it down with some cleaning product to make it feel new. Though it is used, when I buy used gear, these are the tips that I follow, and I like to clean it up and make it look new. Recently, I just got this Roland Integra 7, and I followed these same tips. After I was done inspecting it, after I decided that everything was good, I wiped it down with alcohol. And when I say I wiped it down with alcohol, it was a very little bit of alcohol, and I just cleaned it up. After I wiped it down, it looked new. So if you follow all 5 tips that I gave you, I believe it will help you feel more confident as a buyer when buying used gear. There's nothing wrong with buying gear. Oftentimes, when you buy used gear, you're gonna save a lot of money, and you're gonna get a product. If you find a good deal and it's fully functional, you're gonna get a product that you save money on, and it can last you just as long as new gear. So if you don't have the money for something new, check out the used market. There's a lot of good sites out there. You got eBay, Guitar Center, Sweetwater even has used gear now. You got Reverb, Amazon, a lot of places to get used gear. Facebook Marketplace. Check out some of these spots. All right, I hope you found some value in this video. If you like content like this, please subscribe and like this video. Comment down below if you're in the market for used gear, or if you've been buying used gear as a musician for a while now. Comment some tips down below on what you do and what's your process when buying used gear. All right, we out.